Let me start with something that might really surprise you, or maybe you already know this. I don't know, but long form content is back. Actually, I say that it has never really left. So here's what you need to know. Facebook knows this, YouTube knows it. And if you're trying to grow an online business, if you're a coach trying to show up here and grow your business online, well, you need to know this too. Because in this very noisy, automated, AI filled world that we now know, your greatest asset and your greatest differentiator is you. It's your voice, your depth, your message, your experience, your transformation. And that's irreplaceable, right? And today I'm going to dive in and show you how to use long form content as what I call that top of traffic funnel flow. As an industry term, right? Many of us wonder what the heck it really means, but it's really how you get discovered and how you draw people to you, right? So grab your coffee and a notebook. Let's go. Hello, Redlo women. Welcome back to the podcast. How are you today? I'm so grateful you're here. I'm your host, Terri Mullen, and I'm here to offer a little bit of inspiration in your day and to empower you and to help you reclaim your confidence, embrace your voice, define your path, lead with courage, and own who you are now in this season of life. So grab that warm cup of coffee and let's step forward together. Let's go. Welcome back, Redlo women. I'm so excited you're here, and I'm really excited about this episode today. Today, my goal is really simple. I think it's a fun way to kind of, close out this year by talking about how to attract your ideal client in a way that lets them truly get to know you, and to do it simply, right? To stop swirling in that messy middle of your business, wondering how to do it, how to focus on working more on your business, not just in it, and using tools that will really help you step forward and grow your business in 2026. And I'm sharing what's helped me this year. It's been the long form content, and it builds trust. Now, it's how your audience really gets to know you. They see your heart, they hear your stories, they see your inflections, they see your expertise and your shared experience. It's not just a highlight reel. And the coaches that I follow, the ones that have really helped me the most, all agree that long form content is where real connection really happens. And if you've been following Brendon Burchard for a long time, he has done long form content for as long as I have followed him. He's never shifted or pivoted or done anything clickbaity or trendy. He has always said that long form content is the best way to connect with your ideal audience. And that means showing up and doing longer videos, doing a podcast, teaching a masterclass, doing a longer post, and writing your long form newsletters or emails. It really allows people to get to know you. Now, I have my favorite newsletters. I love seeing Maria Shriver's newsletter show up in my inbox every Sunday because she just goes deep, right? She shares who she is. She shares about her transformation midlife and what she's learned along the way, and having adult children and trying to grow her business and doing it on her own, all these things, and kind of really rediscovering her voice. And then I love Jenna Kutcher's as well because she's just so authentic and real. Her newsletters are really fun to read. So here's something I want you to think about. There's a big shift, and here's what's changed. Here's what's changed with videos. Facebook now allows all videos to become reels. There's no longer a time limit. So you don't have that 90-second limitation, which woohoo. I love doing longer form content. I love doing longer videos. And now we don't have to feel rushed. We get to say who we are. We could share what we do because people want to get to know you. And like I said, Facebook knows this. So does YouTube. All the YouTube shorts now have extended their length as well. So pay attention to this. These platforms are guiding us forward. They're begging us to go deeper. Why? Because people want that. People want to get to know you. They want to build that trust. They want your perspective. They want your authenticity. They want your realness. They want to see who you really are. They want to see your quirks and your mistakes, and they want to learn about your life and who you are and what you like to do, where you travel, and if you're willing to show up and do that, then awesome, because that's what people want. They want to connect. They want to know that they're not alone. And as I say on every podcast I do, you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, you are valued, and you belong. People want to feel that. They want to feel seen and heard, and they want to connect with you. So as you've heard probably 1,000 times by now, because all the gurus have said it, we're in a trust deficit economy. And you can't just build trust in that 7-second reel or that 90-second reel. They're fun, right? I do them. I do those 90-second reels. I call them those B-rolls, but they're for entertainment. They might be a highlight of a trip I just took. Like I just did one with our trip to New York to visit our kids over Thanksgiving and showed kind of the fun highlights. It's a fun way to tell a story in that regard. And I think it's important that we mix it up and do that. But as we're growing our business, it's also important that we have long form content and show our experience and our expertise and share who we are and what we do and how we can help someone. So I want to encourage you to lean in. I want you to create that content that you enjoy and content that really allows you to connect with that person that you want to help, because you're not just an influencer. You are a woman of influence. You've arrived at this stage of life with a few bumps and bruises and, you've fallen down a few times and you've risen up, and that experience can teach others. So if you love speaking, awesome. Do a podcast. That might be a great place for you to be. That's where I started. I still love it more than ever, right? I didn't have it all figured out when I started. I just wanted to talk to other women and help them and inspire them and let them know that they weren't alone. If you like writing, awesome. Do blogs or newsletters, right? They're gold. Maybe even do a Substack. Okay. If you love visuals, well, maybe YouTube or longer reels are your space, but there's a place for you. And many authors now have podcasts because this is a really deep space. When you hear someone's voice and their story and their inflections, and you're listening to them for 10, 15, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, you get to know that person. You hear their story, you hear their journey, you hear their teachings and their lessons, and it really builds trust. So I want to encourage you to figure out what it is that you want to do. Where do you like to start? Like I said, do you like to do a podcast and speak? Do you like to do videos? Do you like to write? Think about that. Take some time now and think about what lights you up. Think about the response that you have inside your soul and your spirit and your body, and pay attention to it and start there. Because once you start at that top place where you draw people to you, and usually it's a place that you too like to be on. Like if you like to be on Instagram, that's where you're going to be. Or if you like to be on Facebook, or if you like to listen to podcasts, or if you like to watch videos, right? That's usually the place you like to be. So again, start there. And then you can repurpose that message everywhere. So let's go deeper. What I've really learned this year and what's really helped me grow my business, it's been starting with that top of traffic funnel. Okay. To make it fun, I call this tofu, your top of traffic funnel, like TOFU. Funnel is FU. So there you go. Not in the bad way. I just realized what I just said. So anyway, top of funnel, it's your entry place. It's your entry point. It's the place where people really discover you. And if you want to think about it like a freeway. Like if you live in a busy city, you understand this. It's like getting on that on-ramp, right? You signal to get onto that very busy freeway. And it's that moment when someone actually lets you in. Like if you're not in Los Angeles, someone hopefully will let you in, or you speed up and try to get in, right? And it's where people discover you and they find you. They find your work. And then they think, I really want to know more about her. She might be my person. So like I mentioned, your top of funnel traffic might be your podcast or a YouTube channel or a blog or a newsletter or even a live masterclass that you might do. And the key is, like I said, is to choose what you love doing. What's easy. Don't make it hard for yourself. Now, I'm not saying don't ever do something that's hard. Like if you don't love doing videos, I'm not saying don't ever do them. But I'm saying when you start out, when you are really growing your business, start with the things that really light you up and what you love. For me, like I said, it's my podcast. I also love doing videos, and that was a big surprise and delight for me. And I really love doing live masterclasses because I love making that connection with people. I love seeing them face to face. I love asking questions and just creating that much deeper connection. And when I teach a class, that always happens. Not only do I help someone else, but they also help me, and we all inspire each other. It becomes a community. So it's also really important to think about this top of traffic that you like to do, the platform you want to be on, and be consistent with it. Because when you enjoy doing it, you're actually going to show up and actually do it. And that's what matters more than anything. So I will never teach someone to be on a platform that they don't enjoy doing, because they'll never show up and do it. So that's really, really, really important to pay attention to that. And I'd love to invite you. I'm going to do a free masterclass on December 11th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to be teaching how to do this step by step. How to start with your top of traffic funnel flow with your platform. And I actually am going to teach doing it on Riverside. So that's where I'm recording right now. On the podcast is where I've been doing all my podcasts. I do them both audibly and on video now. And it's changed my life. It's really has. And I'll kind of dive into that in the masterclass. But what I'm doing now is I have a strategy. And each week I record a podcast episode that becomes my theme. And with Riverside, it's a platform that you can break it up into other forms of content. So if I'm doing a podcast, I can break it up into a LinkedIn post or just a regular Facebook post. I can break it up into short reels and clips. I can break it up into my newsletter, and I can do these fun little, what they call magic clips, sort of like these little short B-rolls. So I will show you all this. I think it is a really, really important tool to have in your tool belt. It will change the way you do your business. It'll change the way you do your business going into 2026. And I've spent wasted a lot of time just kind of swirling in the messy middle of my business. And really having a strategy really, really matters. It just gives you clarity. It gives you a plan. You can sit down each month or each week and decide what you're going to talk about on a video, or if you do a podcast, which I also teach podcasting, by the way. I still believe it's a really great platform if you're ready and when you're ready to really connect with your audience in a very deep way. But even if it's just video, you create that video content for the week and then you break it up into small parts. So I will put that link here in the show notes. Just click on register, and I'd love to meet you. I'd love to help you step forward and gain some momentum as you step into 2026 and really simplify. This is where AI is really powerful, because it can really simplify your time and your energy and help you work on your business and not just swirl around in it. So what happens when we have a top of funnel? What is a funnel? Like, I want you to think about this. Because this is what we're really going to focus on. If you think about a funnel like I have here, right? It's wide at the top and then it narrows down at the bottom, right? Your podcast or your video, your masterclass or your newsletter, that's your top of funnel. That's where people pour in. They come into your orbit, your world. Now, some people are going to stay. Some people are just kind of swirl around up here and continue to kind of figure out who you are. They might be curious. They might take action. They might not. But some people are going to dive in and go deeper, right? And those people that do stay, those people that want to go deeper, that come through this narrow part of the funnel, those are actually your true fans. Those are people who really want to work with you. Now, whether that's today, tomorrow, next week, 6 months, I don't know. But these are the people that are really curious and they've connected with you. They relate to you. They relate to your energy, your message, your story, your transformation, your heart, and what you teach. Your ideal client, you've heard this before, someone that you really want to help, is probably who you were a few steps ago or a few years ago, right? And that person sees this transformation that you've made as you share your story and your journey and what you do and how you got from point A to point B. They begin to really trust you. So like I shared, for me, my podcast is my top of funnel. As of today, as of recording this podcast episode, this is episode 165, and I love it more than ever. And I've shared this so many times, how I started. I didn't even have a business plan. I just kind of started showing up and talking and decided I just wanted to talk to midlife women and help them feel like they weren't alone, that they had an advocate out here, someone who had gone through some really hard things, someone who had stepped forward with her life, as I say in my book. It's what my book is all about, helping women, really learn how to navigate this midlife transition and to overcome some really hard things and learn how to rediscover yourself and to step forward and to step into what can really be one of the best seasons of your life. So podcasting really lets me go deep. It lets me talk to you. It lets me share who I am. You hear my voice, you hear my inflections, you hear my story, you see my facial expressions if you're watching me here on video. But it really lets you know who I am, right? And how I dress, even with my fun quirky hats and all the things. But this platform allows me to talk to you and to really serve midlife women who are stepping forward with their life, stepping into coaching and entrepreneurship and reinvention, and to really inspire you and encourage you to find your voice and realize that it's never too late, right? So I love doing this. I love showing up here early in the morning. It's my sacred time. My whole body relaxes as I sit here and talk to you. I'm not stressed. I'm really relaxed and I'm in my happy place. So that's how I want you to feel. And hopefully you can feel that as you're listening to my voice now, or you're watching me here on this podcast video. So that's what draws people in, right? And how I teach this, like I said, is through Riverside because it has simplified everything I do. And I want to encourage you with that. It just has changed my life. And I say that when we have this top of traffic funnel that we start, where whatever it is that we're going to do that week, whether it's the podcast or the video, it's like meal prep, right? You cook it once, you prepare it, and then you can eat it all week. And that's what this really is. I create my one podcast, it's my theme for the week, and I break it up into smaller meals or bite-sized chunks, right? And it's very digestible for everybody. And then it also creates continuity and consistency because I have that theme for the week. And it just makes my life so much easier too. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. But all the major gurus and coaches and content creators do this. It's efficient, it's strategic, and it's really powerful. And if you're like me, when I first dove into all this, people just told us to show up online, to show up on Facebook and to post and DM and exhausting, right? That no longer works. Like I said in the beginning of this, you've heard me say it before, the game has changed. It doesn't work. You've got to build credibility. And for me, if someone shows up in my DM with just a hey and wanting to sell me something, I immediately delete. I don't even pay attention and I have no interest. I want to know who you are. I want to build a relationship with you. I want to know what you really do. I want to know what you think. So that's what this platform really does. And now you can upload your podcast directly to Spotify, to YouTube, to other platforms. It's highly integrated and it's just really, really powerful. So video itself has always been a really great way to connect with your ideal audience. So if that's something you love to do, I love teaching women too how to be confident on video. It's part of what I teach when I do teach my coaching, if that's something you need. But I really believe that when you're on video, people can really see you, they can hear you, and they get to know you better. And speaking might seem scary for you, might seem scary for all of us, but it's a skill that we can all learn. And, just like for me, I've been wanting to do video podcasting for a while, and I just started doing it recently. And this is where a lot of things are going. Riverside makes it incredibly easy to do it. And I just want to encourage you, whether you want to do a podcast or whether you want to do a video, to show up, show up with your quirks, your mistakes, your stuttering, even saying it doesn't really matter. It shows who you are. It shows your realness. And people can really relate to you. And it shows that you're not an AI voice, which right now, sadly enough, it really matters. Just a few quick stats for video. And this year, 84% of consumers still buy a product or service from watching a video. 66% of people prefer watching videos or podcasts even on video when available. I shared that data a while back. Video is shared 12 times more than text or static images. So I think that is really fascinating. And video helps you grow your GEO visibility, which we're going to talk about. We're going to dive in and talk about SEO, search engine optimization, and GEO, which is generative engine optimization. Try saying that several times. That's a mouthful. So it's important. I've talked about SEO. I teach it with my coaching and why SEO and keywords really matter. It's changing just like everything else because we have AI. Search engine optimization is no longer about keyword stuffing and just plugging in a lot of keywords, hoping that Google will rank you. Like it's not just about showing up and posting with all these keywords and then hoping that that Google's going to put you on that first page. It doesn't work like that. And the online world is changing rapidly. And I keep saying this, the game has changed. And so your strategy must change as well. So here's what matters. The old searches on Google were short. They were just, you've probably heard people say just use key phrases like, for me, midlife business coach tips or starting over midlife, right? Or starting an online business. Those were short phrases that people may have used. Today, people search the way they think and the way they speak. So it's longer. They may say something like, how can a midlife woman start a business when she feels behind? Or is it too late for a midlife woman to start an online business? Or how do I show up on video when I'm really shy and introverted? Or how do I grow my coaching business without completely burning out? So you see, people actually ask the question. They're asking what they're thinking and what they're really feeling. And so that's what you need to do too. When you're putting your content out there, get curious, lean in and think about maybe how you would ask and think in terms of how your ideal client would ask that question. So this is why long form content, longer written content, longer sentences, right? Speaking the way we speak as a human, it mirrors human conversation. So I want to encourage you to stop being afraid of AI. You've heard it before. It's a machine. It helps you with strategy and it helps you save time and energy. But humans still need humans. And I say this now more than ever. Okay. So I want to encourage you to allow AI to help you strategize and to save time and to think through things and to plan, but still show up as a human with your words. Write your content in your words. Don't let AI write your content for you. I just heard actually a really cool thing from the new president of ASU, and he was talking about there are parts of AI, like when we claim it as our own work, it's actually cheating. And my friend who I interviewed, Sarah Davenport, a few weeks ago, who's amazing at storytelling, shared all that. She's really taught me to lean in and stop questioning and stop feeling like I'm not qualified when I'm writing my own content and making 1,000 typos. Who cares? It shows that I'm a human. That's what you want to do. And you want to say things in your way and the funny way, the quirky way that you would say it, because AI can't duplicate that. Okay. So really pay attention to that as you're stepping into 2026. Write your content. You can have AI help you clean up your typos or clean up your sentence structure or your punctuation, but you write your content with your words and say it the way you would say it. Okay. Enough of that. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. But here's the thing. What was happening on like Google, okay? Google is now rewarding information that gives clear explanations. It's offering real teaching. It's personal experience. It's your helpful answers. And one thing that's really interesting that happened a few weeks ago, my husband, he was featured on a boot camp, so to speak, for someone, a guru and a coach that mentors us. He spoke for her class. And there was a woman that was taking the class that went to search his name, and he doesn't have a website. He is a financial advisor. That's what he does professionally. He's done that for over 35 years. But he also has a course that he teaches for beginning investors called Investing Simplified. And I help him with that course, actually. We do that together. But this woman was trying to find him and learn more about him. Well, here's the fun thing. He showed up on my podcast. Google recommended my podcast, The Redlo Woman, because my husband was a guest, and we talked about his Investing Simplified course and how I help him and how we're building our businesses independently and together. So that was just a super fun takeaway from me. And I just did such a happy dance because I realized that all my content, what I'm doing, what I'm sharing, how I'm growing is actually working. So I want to encourage you with that. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about how to do this, but Google is now really prioritizing your experience, your expertise, your authoritativeness, and your trustworthiness. And the different places and different platforms where you can be found. I think it's important just to take a quick side note here and share what I mean when I'm talking about how Google is prioritizing content. It actually came out with an acronym called EAT, EEAT, and it is now prioritizing content that shows your experience, your expertise, your authoritativeness, and your trustworthiness. So, as all these different algorithms and AI integration and these platforms all kind of work together, they really are prioritizing your trustworthiness and your expertise and your experience, like I just shared. So, everything that you're putting out there, it's important to be clear in who you are, share your story, all the things that I've been talking about. And I'm going to dive deeper into this even more with my class that I will have on December 11th. And I'd love for you to be there. I'd really love to help you step forward into 2026 with confidence as you're posting your content and how to do it that really speaks from your place of your brand voice and who you are. So my life, my experience as a wife, as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as an author, a podcaster, a course creator, midlife woman, all these things and how I appear, on a podcast with my book, doing my masterclass, with my course, with my blog, doing these videos, all the things, it all works together and helps me rank. And it will help you as well. And that's what I teach. So video and audio matters. Google and YouTube and AI are all kind of working together. And as you see, like when I do a podcast now, it has for a while, but there's a transcript that appears. So YouTube and then the podcast have these transcripts. Your words that you put in your captions, your show notes, your titles, your description, all of that is not only discovered by YouTube. I mean, sorry, by Google, because Google has Gemini and Gemini is extracting content. That's the AI tool that's going out and searching for content and words and things that you're putting out there. And it's working with AI. So all of it matters. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. I don't want you to be afraid of it. AI is a machine, but it's here to stay. And whether we like it or not, there are search engines, and that's what we're going to talk about in just a minute, that are actually out there searching for what you're putting out there as a thought leader, as a business owner, as an author, a podcaster, all the things. That data is being extracted and put into these AI platforms so that when you search something on AI has the data for you to find. Now, something kind of interesting. My husband was just recently contacted by a company called Mercor, which is just growing exponentially. And they are now paying people to train AI. So it's humans to AI training. And they wanted him to talk about investing and as a financial advisor. It's started by a 22-year-old kid who's now a billionaire doing this, but he is taking taking humans to train AI. So in each industry that we're a part of, they're paying people to teach and train AI from the human to the AI. And like I said, kind of sums up everything I've been saying. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. It's here to stay. And I just want you to lean into it. I had someone the other day that sent something to me that said, "Oh, be careful on CapCut because they will take your content and share it." Well, I already know that because of the templates that is available to us on CapCut. And I'm lazy now. I just plug and play in that. It's not when I'm doing these short B rolls and video rolls, I don't want to overthink it. I used to make it really hard on myself. So now I just plug and play, and I'm essentially taking someone else's video that they created and I'm plugging in my own information. It removes their content and adds mine. No big deal. I don't really care. So anyway, just be open. Don't be freaked out. Don't be afraid of it. It's here to stay. All the gurus are leaning in. Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins, Brenda Burchard, they're all leaning into it. And don't be afraid. But SEO, search engine optimization, and GEO, which is the generative engine optimization, are now working together in just what I shared. And another short story, just to show how this works. My daughter has an incredible newsletter. She's just like a newsletter queen. I've learned a lot from her, and I'm actually going to have her on the podcast in January. You will not want to miss it. She's grown her her newsletter. I think she's making $2,000 a month with her newsletter. So you won't want to miss that episode. She's going to teach us and guide us through how to do it, and you're going to learn a lot from her. But ChatGPT actually recommended her newsletter to someone who was Googling VC platform, and pretty fascinating. I just, I just think it's really cool. So all that to say that, a lot's changing. A lot's changing here online. A lot's changing in all these different platforms, right? They're all integrating and working together. Riverside is integrating and using AI. It allows you to connect to YouTube and other platforms to make it really simple to streamline your work. And I think it's just really important to lean into that as you grow your business. And you want to be discoverable. You want to be in different places so that people can find you by sharing who you are, what you do through a podcast, through a book, through your videos, through your courses, all of that. That's just the way people are going to find you. And just to bring this all together and kind of come full circle, I'd love to have you show up for that class on December 11th. I think it's going to be a really powerful class. I'm really, really excited. I love this platform. I want to show you how to do it so that you can step forward into 2026 and have a little bit more confidence and clarity as you're growing your online business. But it's really important that you start with that top of funnel, that top of traffic, whatever that is for you, whether that's doing a podcast or a video, and that you repurpose that content across different platforms. And I will show you how to do that, how to start, and then you can recycle and reuse and repurpose that and share that with your audience so that they can connect with you. When you do that short reel, or you do that longer email, or you do that LinkedIn post or that LinkedIn article, right? It all matters. And it allows people to find you in different places. And I've shared before that Daniel Priestley talks about this a lot. He calls it the 7-11-4 rule. So people now need 7 hours of connecting with you in some way, hearing you, reading about you, but spending 7 hours in your community, orbit, class, podcast, whatever. They need 11 touch points. Often now it's even more than that. So they need to connect with you 11 different times on these different platforms. And then it's also really important to have 4 different places that people can find you. So for example, for me, that is a book. You can purchase my book. You can purchase a course. You can coach with me. You can listen to my podcast, and you can see my content, and you can now sign up and join my monthly membership. So that's what's important. You want people to be able to find you. And I'd love to help you stop swirling. I've made all the mistakes for you. So come learn more about me. Come meet me. Come have another tool that you can add to your tool belt on December 11th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bring your questions. I'd love to answer them and help you step forward. It's free and great way to end the year. So always remember that you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, you are valued, and you belong. You have something very powerful to say. You have your experience and your expertise, and I want you to continue to step forward using your voice and making a difference in this world, because the world needs you. The world needs the human version of you. All right, until we meet again, keep stepping forward. God bless, and have an amazing day. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you have a few key takeaways that you can apply to your life. And if you don't mind, take a few moments and leave a review that lets other women know that we're here making a difference in your life and theirs as well. Until we meet again, God bless.